Yeah. This is all in celebration of you and what you all do. So, welcome. Before we begin, I want to introduce my colleague, Mada, who is going to facilitate interpretation tonight. So, she has a few words she wants to share with us.
Hello, my name is Maura Velázquez Castillo. I'm here to provide English-Spanish interpretation for those who need it. I will try to interpret as much as I can of what is said today in the program, and I will ask to the speakers to please pause frequently and keep your sentences short and the rate of speech manageable for somebody who's trying to catch up with you all the time. If I need you to pause briefly, I will lift my hand like this, and I will ask you to please wait a little bit for me. Mi nombre es Maura Velázquez Castillo y estoy aquí para proporcionar interpretación del inglés al español a quienes lo necesiten. Trataré de interpretar más o menos todo lo que se diga hoy. Por favor, hagan pausas frecuentes y utilicen frases cortas para que la interpretación sea lo más completa posible. Y si levanto la mano con una señal así, quiere decir que les estoy pidiendo que paren por un segundito para que pueda yo seguirles el ritmo. Muy bien, muchas gracias. And if I can ask people to try the equipment for just 1 minute before we start with the interpretation. Thank you.
Good, thank you. Well, once again, welcome everyone to the 2025 Human Relations Awards. This is an amazing crowd. And I want to introduce myself. I'm Beth Jager, and I'm the current chair of the city's Human Relations Commission. And on behalf of my fellow commissioners, it is our privilege today to recognize all of you, individuals, organizations, teams, who work actively and purposefully to make positive changes in our community. Your passionate, impactful work is integral to building a sense of community for all, especially in these challenging times. You are an inspiration for all of us to look beyond ourselves and instead look at how we can focus on advancing a community where all have the opportunity to thrive, where diversity is celebrated, where the common good guides our actions, and where we all belong. Our Human Relations Award recipients and finalists are individuals and organizations and teams that positively impact underserved populations in our community, who serve as role models by motivating others to effect positive change in underserved communities, that demonstrate impact in making Fort Collins and Larimer County a safe and welcoming community for all through advocacy for inclusion, diversity, equity, and accessibility. And finally, to build effective partnerships with other individuals and organizations to advance inclusion, diversity, equity, and accessibility. We welcome all of you, our award recipients, our award finalists, your families, your friends, those who nominated individuals and organizations. We are so excited to celebrate your uplifting contributions to our community. I want to recognize all of this year's award recipients and finalists. For those who wish and who are able, please stand when I read your name, and please remain standing until we go through this wonderful list. I have to tell you that we've got a long list. So if you can, you don't have to, but if you can, you might want to hold your applause to the end. And my apologies if I mispronounce your name. So let's begin. American Healing and Wellness. Amy Hoven, Anais Campbell, Andrea Gurga, Ayla Crystal, Beth Seymour, Brenda McDowell, Care Communities, Carolina Quinones, Church World Service, Corey Wong, Karanda Ziegler, Dance Express and Katarina Newhauser, Disabled Resource Services, Elizabeth Sink, Emily Ring, the Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion team at Poudre Libraries, EVIX Family Resource Center, Full Expression and Savannah Swoboda, Hearts and Horses, Hum KC, Bahadur Sapan, Iron Horse Therapeutic Farm, Jenny Langness, Jessica Jackson and Alexander Pittman, Jessica Pluta, Jesus Castro, Judah Skinner, Kat Steele and Michelle Foster, Kenneth Blakely, Kimberly Medina, Chris Agana, Leisha Lawson Talley, Lexi Valente, Liberty Common School, Marissa K. Emerson, Melissa Reese, Memories of Us, Mevos, Museo de las Tres Colonias, Nick Kokias, Northern Colorado Wildlife Center, Patricia Alvarez Harrell, Poudre Fire Training Center, Raphael Porsche, Renee Cohn Jones, Robert Bob Nightwalker, Rut Miller, Sarah D. Fitzpatrick, Susan Lind, TJ McCallanan, Tony Lynch, Valerie Macri Lind, Water Watch, Yarrow Collective, and Yunho Yeager. Congratulations to all of you. I've got chills right now. I also want to recognize and thank our mayor pro tem, city council members, city leaders, county leaders for sharing this celebration with us and helping to recognize our amazing group of recipients and finalists. This afternoon, we will hear remarks from Mayor Jenny Arndt, Mayor Pro Tem Emily Francis. We'll share the history of the Human Relations Award, and you will meet our Human Relations Commissioners as they introduce our award recipients. So now it is my honor to introduce Mayor Jenny Arndt and express our thanks for her support of the human relations work. Thank you.
Good afternoon. It was such a pleasure driving up tonight and not being able to get in the parking lot. Yay. I was like, this is great. So thank you for coming. Good afternoon and welcome to today's celebration. It is what is such a point of pride too. It's the 44th. We've been doing this a long time and we're not going to stop. Annual Human Relations Award ceremony. It's a pleasure and a privilege to support the Human Relations Commission. We mean that with all our heart. As they honor outstanding individuals, organizations, and teams, everyone who just stood up, and everyone that came with them to support them. Rising stars and youth nominated for these awards. These awards recognize those in our community who work to advance inclusion, diversity, equity, and accessibility, and do so with intentionality and informed compassion. These award recipients and finalists are change makers and often go unrecognized. They serve and inspire others to practice fairness and understand that equality can only be achieved through equitable resources and meaningful support. These awards and the work they honor take on greater significance as our community navigates uncertain times and profound challenges. They recognize some of the most important work and services that address those challenges, whether ongoing or new, that disproportionately impact community members facing social and economic disparities. We acknowledge that local governments, am I going slow? I was just like, oh, okay. Okay, we acknowledge that local governments play a role in creating equity and inclusion as a step towards ensuring a healthy community for all residents. For example, we are working towards equitable resources such as affordable and achievable housing and access to public education, transportation. Collectively, we can make a difference. Individually, each and every one of us plays a role in those changes and needed to make Fort Collins a safe and welcoming place for all, a place where we all belong. Special thanks to those who took time out to send in thoughtful nominations with powerful stories. Without your time and effort, we would not have the opportunity to recognize the vital work of these individuals and organizations. Finally, I applaud all of the award recipients and finalists for their ongoing commitment to advancing human rights and social justice in the Fort Collins community. You make us all stronger. Thank you for being here. So now we're going to hear, or Beth's going to introduce Mayor Pro Tem and Mayor-elect.
It is now my honor to introduce Mayor Pro Tem Emily Francis. Mayor Pro Tem Francis has been a tireless champion for equity and inclusion in our city and has been the Human Relations Commission's council liaison for the past several years and years to come. We greatly appreciate her partnership and important guidance as we work to fulfill our mission. Thank you, Emily.
Well, thank you, and thank you all for having me tonight and allowing me to honor all of you for the Human Relations Award and to be at this ceremony, which is easily one of my favorite events of the year. So thank you, and thank you for those coming back. And I hope for those that are here for the first time to come back every year and celebrate our wonderful community. So as Beth said, over the past several years, I think it's over 6 years, I have been pleased to serve as a City Council liaison to the Human Relations Commission and work with its volunteer commissioners. You know, I think this is the 6th time I've given these remarks tonight, and always Beth has me read a very long list of identities that we like to recognize, but it's also become a joke because of how long it is. But also it's just wonderful to recognize all the different identities that the HRC identifies and shows up every month to serve our community. So the HRC was established by City Council to heighten awareness and respect for diversity through educational programs and activities, and to celebrate individual characteristics such as race, ethnicity, gender identity and expression, physical and intellectual abilities, sexual orientation, age, culture, familial status, immigration status, marital status, national origin, religious and spiritual beliefs, socioeconomic status, veteran status, among others, and not to mention all of the intersectionalities between them. So a big shout out to the HRC for all of their work. And yes, it is a long list of identities, yet it is one that reflects the diversity of Fort Collins residents. That's why City Council, the Human Relations Commission, and individuals and organizations, like all of our nominees tonight, which was such a long list, and one that I'm very very thankful that it kept going on and on to see all the work that's done in our community. These nominees are critical in creating an inclusive, equitable, accessible, and safe community, one where everyone belongs and thrives. I want to join the mayor in applauding the contributions of all the award recipients and finalists and celebrating their commitment to making our city a better place for everyone. Your work is inspiring and demonstrates the impact that individuals and organizations can make in a community. This journey will continue, and with people and organizations both inside this room and in our community, and with all of us joining in this responsibility and commitment, I am confident we will continue to make progress in building a community where we all belong. I am grateful for your work and your passion for equity, inclusion, justice, and human rights. What you do matters and serves an example for all of us. So again, thank you so much for everyone being here tonight for one of the best events in Fort Collins. And I will turn it back over to Beth to talk about the history of the Human Relations Award.
I think you all can see the award that is up here, and each of our recipients tonight will receive one of these awards. The HRC in 2017 actually commissioned artist Peter Coley to create a piece of art that is representative of a strong, healthy, diverse community. Affixed to the back of each of these awards is a letter that Peter wrote about his artwork, and I want to share that with you. In honor of the Human Relations Award, I was commissioned in 2017 to create a piece of artwork that represents its meaning and inspiration. The painting that evolved and is entitled Gathering consists of many colors, shapes, and textures. Gathering is a coming together of these elements to form a unifying experience of inclusion. My vision and inspiration for this painting came from the concept that a community contains many of these colors, shapes, and textures as well. Your commitment to the community of Fort Collins and your efforts towards acceptance and diversity within it are at the very center of a strong community and are also reflected at the center of this painting. What emanates out from that place of integrity and generosity has the possibility of reaching and touching countless individuals. I offer my congratulations to you on this very special honor and hope that this painting will help to inspire you and others to continue in your service towards community. Sincerely, Peter Coley. So now let's begin with the first award. So I'd like to invite my fellow commissioner, Teresa Corbelli, and Sarah D. Fitzpatrick to the podium for the presentation of the Youth Award.
Good evening, everyone. It is my honor to introduce this year's Human Relations Youth Award recipient, Sarah D. Fitzpatrick, a young leader whose self-awareness and advocacy have made a meaningful difference in Larimer County. Sarah is a junior at Loveland High School, where she enjoys sculpture and college writing classes. She is on track to graduate early this May. Sarah is also autistic, and like many autistic and other neurodivergent individuals, may respond differently in unexpected or stressful situations. Her journey began with a personal question. If I ever faced an emergency and could not speak, how would first responders know how to help me? Sarah began using a medical alert bracelet with a QR code that shares essential communication and medical information. She brought this idea to the Loveland Police Department and Thompson Valley EMS, who partnered with her to secure a county grant offering, or to secure and pursue funding so that the county could offer these bracelets free of charge. First responders can spot the bracelets and know that the person may have different support or communication needs. This effort became the foundation of Sarah's project, giving neurodivergent people in Larimer County a tool that helps them feel safer and understood in emergencies. And as a person with neurodivergent family members, encounters with authorities can be rather fraught. So I am personally very grateful. Sarah also contributed to Colorado's law, SB 22-187, passed in 2022, called the Supporting Recovery Programs Persons Who Wander Bill, which provides resources for individuals who may wander due to a disability. Her lived experience helps shape legislation that protects families across the state. More recently, she and her mother consulted with the Fort Collins Police Department on the Blue Envelope program, designed to help neurodivergent drivers communicate more easily with first responders during traffic stops. The Blue Envelope, which can be placed on the dashboard, immediately signals the communication needs of the driver. What makes Sarah exceptional is her instinct to turn personal experience into community impact, finding solutions that help others feel safe, heard, and included. For her leadership, compassion, and commitment to making Larimer County more supportive for all, it is my pleasure to present Sarah D. Fitzpatrick with the Human Relations Youth Award. Thank you.
Love you.
All right, thank you. All right, and now I'd like to invite Commissioner Diana Prieto, Dr. Jessica Jackson, and Dr. Alexander Pittman to the podium for the presentation of the Rising Star Award. Thank you.
Good evening. As we acknowledge the amazing contributions of community members tonight, it is an honor for me to introduce two extraordinary educators and community partners. This year's Rising Star Award recipients, Dr. Jessica Jackson and Dr. Alexander Pittman. At a time when conversations about history can be divisive, Drs. Jackson and Pittman have shown us what is possible when history is used as a bridge between people and to create belonging. As co-directors of History Matters at Colorado State University, they are transforming how our community understands its past, and more importantly, how our young people see themselves reflected in it. In under 2 years, their vision, driven in part by being parents of young children in our schools, has reshaped history education across Fort Collins and Northern Colorado. Working together with Booter School District teachers, they have co-created an inclusive, hyper-local curriculum that amplifies the untold and undertold stories of Indigenous, Black, and Hispanic communities. Stories that have shaped our community but have too often been left out of classrooms. Their work has already reached more than 360 students directly, inspired at least 7 new curriculum units, and empowered over 50 teachers to bring more inclusive, equity-centered history to their students. Through History Matters, Drs. Jackson and Pittman have helped reimagine Pioneer Day into Fort Collins Ancestors Day, placing Ute, Arapaho, and Cheyenne histories side by side with those of European settlers. They have brought lessons on Deerfield, Hispanic beat workers, coal mining, and local civil rights movements into classrooms, connecting young people with the people and places that define Northern Colorado. Through an impressive network of partnerships they have built across CSU departments and with community organizations, they have developed new field trips, walking tours, and community-driven history harvests, ensuring that local voices shape the stories told about our communities. Drs. Jackson and Pittman are modeling what equity-centered education looks like. Research that is rooted in community, teaching that reflects the lived experience of all students, and partnerships that elevate voices too long marginalized. Their work embodies the very purpose of this award, strengthening human relationships through empathy, inclusion, and shared understanding. For their visionary leadership, their profound community impact, and their unwavering commitment to ensuring that every child sees themselves in the story of Northern Colorado, we are proud to honor Drs. Jessica Alexander and Dr. Alexander Pittman as this year's Rising Star Award recipients.
Thank you, Diana. Just very quickly, the History Matters project emerged from my work as a historian, a teacher educator, and as a parent. So shout out to my kids, Luca and Adelaide, PSD students. I want to thank our generous funders who have helped fund this 2-year project, the Library of Congress, the CSU Department of History, CSU College of Liberal Arts, and the CSU Blake Center for Engaged Humanities. Thank you to our community partners who Diana mentioned, our fellow faculty partners across CSU from history, English, art and art history, education, race and ethnic studies, to the half dozen history graduate students, one of whom is here today. Thank you, Maria. And to our History Matters teachers and our schools here in PSD. So shout out to Blevins, Johnson, Irish, Linton, Olander, and Polaris. This project and this work would not have been possible without our History Matters teachers who took up the challenge, invested deeply in this process, and engaged with such thoughtfulness and care in an effort to expand the stories we are telling in our local history classrooms.
So, hello, and thank you for this opportunity. I also have to shout out my two PSD kids over there as well, Isaiah and Ezekiel Lopez. And so I'm extremely humbled by this award and grateful for the opportunities that I've had since joining CSU and moving to Fort Collins. But I'd also like to take this moment to acknowledge the work that remains and the urgency of meeting students' needs. There are still students of marginalized identities who continue to feel alienated in their learning environments due to a lack of representation in the classroom and in curriculum. And all of us in this room should care deeply about this and consider how we can leverage our positions to work towards change in these areas. For some, it may involve sharing cultural and experiential knowledge. For others, it may involve demonstrating a willingness to reflect and listen to those who share that knowledge. For some, it may be lending your disciplinary expertise. For others, your role may be ensuring that this project remains funded. And my point in all of this is that I hope in this moment of joy and celebration, we do not lose sight of the people who are counting on us the most, our children and our students. Thank you.
Now I would like to invite Commissioner Rachel Bryan and representatives of Church World Service to the podium for the presentation of the Rising Star Award.
All the way in the back row. Come on down.
How about you?
Congratulations. Good evening, everyone. I want to take a moment to acknowledge the incredible advocacy, influence, and dedication present in this room today. It's powerful to feel the energy in this space and see the diversity of identities, sectors, passions, and experiences that make Fort Collins a community rooted in belonging and support. With that spirit in mind, it is my honor to introduce our Rising Star Award recipient, Church World Service of Fort Collins, and their director, Christy Beachy Quick. Church World Service opened its Fort Collins office in the spring of 2024. For a national organization, choosing to plant roots here showed a deep belief in our community and that it's one worth investing in, where newcomers deserve strong local support as they build their lives in Northern Colorado. In less than 2 years, Church World Services team has delivered truly life-changing services to immigrants and refugees across our city and county. They have helped more than 36 families and individuals access refugee cash assistance, secure housing, enroll in ESL classes, receive SNAP and Medicaid benefits, find employment, enroll children in school, connect with mental health resources, and even learn to drive. They've mobilized more than 290 volunteer hours, strengthening our community's capacity to welcome new community members with compassion and dignity. Their licensed immigration attorney has provided free legal assistance to more than 22 Fort Collins residents, supporting green card applications, temporary protected status, work authorization, asylum cases, and family reunification for Afghan and Ukrainian newcomers. This work is done in close collaboration with other local nonprofits, reflecting a true commitment to partnership and collective impact. Their team's community engagement has also been remarkable. Church World Service co-hosted a 3-part learning series titled Refugee, Rights, and Community, which brought more than 300 participants together to explore the refugee journey, immigration policy, and human rights. They have organized cultural festivals that have filled Old Town and the Opera Galleria with music, dance, food, storytelling, and celebrations of the many cultures that make Fort Collins vibrant. Church World Service has quickly become a trusted, collaborative, and deeply valued partner in Northern Colorado. Most importantly, they're helping ensure that belonging in Fort Collins isn't just something we aspire to, but something people truly experience. Please join me in recognizing Church World Service of Fort Collins as this year's Rising Star Award recipient.
Thank you so much. And I want to thank Dave Williams for his nomination, and also Joel Charney, who also nominated us. And the Fort Collins Interfaith Council Immigration and Refugee Committee has been amazing. And our partners, Isaac and Alianza and La Familia and so many. It's just an honor and a privilege to be in the room with such amazing people. I want to introduce our team. A lot of you, they are busy working and you don't see them as often in the community as you see me or Jason. So I want to make sure they all are recognized for the incredible work that they do. We have Kathy Green as our program manager. Rona Shank is our staff attorney. Elena Fedorova is the intern with the Immigration Legal Services team. And we have Karina Navarez de Lira, who is the Economic Stability Navigator, and Bilal Faizi, who's the Employment Specialist. And also Jason Morgan, who's our Community Engagement and Volunteer Program Officer. So please give them all a round of applause. We've had a very rough year as an organization, and the populations we work with have come under increasing attacks. We continue to just be hopeful and inspired by you, by one another, and are extremely grateful for this recognition. So thank you so much.
And now I'd like to invite Commissioner Everton Brosses and Patricia Alvarez Harrell to the podium for the presentation of the individual award.
Good evening, everyone. It is truly an honor to be here with you tonight as we celebrate the people who make Fort Collins a more welcoming, equitable, and compassionate place to live. The Human Relations Awards shine a light on individuals and organizations whose work strengthens the fabric of our community, often quietly, steadily, and with great heart. This year, the Commission had the privilege of selecting 2 recipients for the Individual Human Relations Award. Both of these leaders have demonstrated extraordinary dedication to uplifting others, expanding access, and building community where everyone has an opportunity to belong. Our first honoree this evening is Patricia Alvarez Harrell. Patricia has spent years standing alongside immigrants and underserved families in Fort Collins and Larimer County. Through her leadership at Alianza Norco, she has helped transform how our community supports residents who face barriers to healthcare, legal services, and essential resources. One of Patricia's most impactful initiatives is the creation of community mini health fairs, which bring preventative care directly to families who often go without. These events empower individuals to take charge of their health while strengthening trust and connections across neighborhoods. Her work extends beyond healthcare. Patricia has been a strong advocate for families navigating immigration challenges, helping create pathways to safety, stability, and opportunity. Instead of trying to summarize all of her impact in my own words, I'd like to share a passage from her nominator, Monica Hanau, who has seen her work up close. Patricia's ability to bring diverse partners to the table, community members, local organizations, policy members, and policy makers, and service providers, has been instrumental in creating systemic changes that promote fairness and dignity. Through her efforts, countless families have gained access to resources, protection under the law, and a sense of belonging in our community that now recognize them as essential contributors. Those who know Patricia describe her as a woman with boundless heart, someone whose kindness, resilience, and courage inspire all around her. This nomination captures the heart of Patricia's work. She builds bridges, strengthens families, and brings hope into communities that need it most. It is an honor to recognize her tonight with the 2025 Individual Human Relations Award.
Thank you. I want to thank the commissioners for this award. I want to thank Monica for the nomination. And I want to thank all of you partners and teammates that do this work along with me. Truly is something that we're all in it together. Every little piece, like the award, we're all a fabric of all of this. And I also want to acknowledge that, I up until now, I think it's official, I'm from here, but up until I moved to the area in 2019 from California. And there's some very important people here that actually gave me the opportunity to work alongside them, and they entrusted just having me there with them. And that includes my previous employers and supervisors, my previous teammates in this work, and award recipients here that are being recognized, that I am very proud to be with them on a daily basis in trying to pass forward the message of inclusiveness, of awareness, of partnership, of dignity. Yesterday was International Human Rights Day, and I think it's just very, very important that we recognize that every single day, that human rights are not privileges. It's something that we should strive for continually within our neighborhoods, internationally, locally. And we need to continue to use our voices to make sure that we're uplifting those that normally either don't have the ability to do it themselves, they have barriers that stop them from speaking, or they are simply in need of their community to surround them and protect them and guide them and coach them and lift them up so they themselves can continue in this kind of work. So I just want to be able to recognize the people that are before me. I appreciate you. I love you. I look forward to continue doing this work with all of you. And congratulations. And also thank you to the family members. My husband, my daughter right there, and all the other family members that were able to come out here and be with us. Be with your family members, with your friends, your peers. We cannot get this work done without late hours, without weekend work, without, someone else picking up the kids from school or someone making dinner and all that. And it truly is all of us. It takes all of us to get this done. So thank you. Thank you again to the City of Fort Collins. Thank you to all of you. And keep going.
I'd like to invite Commissioner Corey Wilford and Beth Seymour to the podium for the presentation of our next individual award.
All right. My heart is full and my Face hurts from smiling, so we'll get this going. Good evening, everybody. It is my honor to recognize a leader whose work has transformed how Fort Collins engages with human rights, the arts, and one another. Tonight, we celebrate Beth Seymour, the driving force behind and the managing director of Colorado State University's ACT Human Rights Film Festival. Under Beth's leadership, ACT has become a place where powerful storytelling, artistic excellence, and civic connection thrive. You might not know that human rights film festivals are rare in the United States, but because of Beth's vision, we have the longest running one in the country, placing our city. This places our city on the national and international map for human rights education and cultural exchange. At its core, Beth has built a deeply inclusive and accessible community experience. From day one, she embedded accessibility into programming with things like pay with what you can tickets, free events, hybrid viewing options, ASL interpretation, multilingual materials, wheelchair and companion seating, and more recently, even offering supports for individuals with anxiety. These choices aren't small. They've opened the doors to over 24,000 attendees over the past decade and created a festival where everyone can see themselves. Beth is also a catalyst for collaboration. She brings together schools, libraries, nonprofits, cultural centers, and community groups to co-create meaningful experiences. A standout example is the 2025 bilingual screening of Separated, developed with the City of Fort Collins, Isaac, Alianza Norco, Poder, and others, and even built an event that was built not just for the community, but with the community. Her influence extends beyond Fort Collins and Northern Colorado. She serves on the boards of Human Rights Film Network in Amsterdam and the Film Festival Alliance in Washington, D.C., helping shape national and international conversations on accessibility, inclusion, and the future of independent film. She brings Fort Collins's values of equity, connection, cultural exchange to audiences around the world. When I talked to Beth, she told me that she believes that the arts are a lifeline. And I believe that through her leadership, ACT has become exactly that, a lifeline for empathy, for understanding, and bridging across differences. Because of her, Fort Collins is not only a community that values human rights, it's a community that actively advances them. Beth, thank you for your vision, your persistence, and for your profound belief in the power of storytelling to bring people together. Please join me in honoring Beth Seymour with a 2025 Individual Human Relations Award for her exceptional contributions in Fort Collins and beyond.
Thank you, Corey. Thank you all. I see so many partners and friendly faces, and you all inspire me so much. Thank you, Mayor Arndt and City Council. I truly do share this honor with so many collaborators and supporters, and a special thanks to Rye Behill. To all of the awardees and finalists, your work truly inspires me. I love Fort Collins. I'm consistently moved by our community's kindness and generosity. The Human Relations Award reflects that spirit, and it's an honor to be part of its long history. Tonight is meaningful, and it is also bittersweet. Here and around the world, human rights are under threat. Artists and filmmakers are often among the first to face repression because their work disrupts complacency and compels us to act. Stories and films help us understand one another, question power, and imagine a better world. Arts and storytelling are part of our civic infrastructure, and the forces that seek to control these inconvenient truths are growing bolder. The challenges before us are daunting, and this award feels less like a marker of achievement and more like a reminder of responsibility. Human rights aren't handed to us. They're built, and they must be stewarded every day. We cannot effectively advocate for universal rights if we do not understand what those rights are and what is at stake when they are threatened or eliminated. So my work with ACT Human Rights Film Festival brings community together to learn about human rights through films that provoke empathy and action,
Prioritizing access and belonging means centering voices that our systems often try to silence, and it also means sharing the stage. Each ACT film invites local activists. How many of you, by the way, have been on stage for an ACT film or gotten to speak? You can raise your hands. There are a lot of you. Activists and nonprofit leaders to help shape our programming and offer audiences concrete pathways for engagement. ACT's successes have always depended on these committed partners and on caring audiences showing up, even when the stories are very hard. Real community work is purposeful, messy, and slow. Collaboration isn't just a strategy, it's an ethos rooted in sharing power, and it asks us to show up with humility, to listen with intention, and at times to step aside. Protecting the dignity and rights of everyone who calls Fort Collins home depends on what we all choose to do together right now. So to the storytellers, keep creating. To those who support the arts, keep showing up. To our civic leaders, act bravely and without compromise. And to all of us, may we choose empathy over apathy and find the courage to speak when silence is the easier path. I'll conclude with words attributed to Eleanor Roosevelt. It is better to light a single candle than to curse the darkness. Thank you again for this honor. I'm grateful to live in a city that honors the values embedded in the Human Relations Award. It's even daring to say social justice and equity in today's climate, but tonight's celebrations give me hope.
I would now like to invite to the podium Commissioner Masood Ahmad and Mivos of La Familia for the presentation of an organization or team award.
It's a big organization. This year's organization or team award recipient is MIWAS. It is my honor to introduce MIWAS and its manager, Adriana Quinto. MIWAS is a leadership development and community engagement program dedicated to making positive changes in mobile home parks and the North College Corridor. MIWAS utilizes community strengths to create community solutions. They empower communities by listening and elevating the voices that deserve to be heard. MIWA's leadership development program trains individuals with knowledge and skills to improve the quality of life for mobile home park residents. Mobile home parks are diverse communities. When mobile home parks are diverse communities, they also tend to be housing more vulnerable populations like low-income families, seniors, disabled, and migrant immigrants. When MHPs are owned and operated by residents' well-being in mind, issues are quickly resolved. Unfortunately, a number of parks do not operate this way. Many residents are scared or hesitant to bring up issues to management involving government agencies may or may not help either. The training and assistance MIWAS provides to MHP residents who want to lead in their communities has had a profound impact on creating leaders who truly make a difference. Leaders have established subcommittees within MIWAS that include work on water security, safe neighborhoods, food security, and impactful building projects. To summarize, MIWA's actions and initiatives strengthen community resilience so every family has real opportunities, stability, and dignified future. When a community grows stronger, we all rise. It is my honor to present the award to MIWAS.
Bueno, buenas tardes a todos. Voy a hablar en el idioma de mi corazón. Maura va a hacernos el favor de interpretar. En primer lugar, quiero agradecer a todos los comisionados, a la ciudad de Fort Collins, pero ante todo, yo creo que quiero extender mi gratitud a cada uno de ustedes que están aquí atrás de mí. Gracias por todo ese esfuerzo, gracias por enfrentar los retos, por alzar la voz y por hacerse escuchar día a día. Gracias a Carol por brindarnos este espacio de reconocimiento y gracias a todas las personas y organizaciones que nos apoyan día a día, con empatía y con ese cariño hacia todos los residentes y esperamos ver más triunfos a futuro. Entonces, doy una gracia a todo este equipo y todas estas personas que luchan día a día.
I'm going to speak with the language of my heart. I want to extend my gratitude to each one of you. Thank you for all your hard work, for facing every challenge, for raising your voices and making yourselves heard. Thank you to Carol for giving us this space for recognition, and thank you to all the people and organizations who support us day by day with empathy and with genuine care for all our residents. And here is to many more achievements to come.
And also I want to say thank you, Emily, because Emily started Mi Voz many years ago. And here we go. We are here.
Now, I would like to invite HRC Commissioner Barb Kistler and Yarrow Collective to the podium for presentation of the Organization Team Award.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you, Masood. Appreciate that. It is my pleasure to introduce our final recipient of the Fort Collins Human Relations Award as we honor an amazing organization, the Yarrow Collective. The Yarrow Collective started in 2020 as a project out of the CSU Social Work Department, and in 5 maybe long years, given the pandemic, has grown into an organization providing consent-based alternatives to mental health. All their services including peer support, recovery, and harm reduction. Their communities are centered around, for, and with people who have lived and living experience with psychiatric diagnoses, trauma, extreme states, houselessness, disabilities, chronic illnesses, problems with substances, incarcerations, criminalization, and other life-interrupting challenges. Needless to say, Yarrow turns away no one. In 2025 alone, Yarrow has served over 4,800 adults and youth through hosting numerous monthly alternatives to suicide-style peer support groups, liberatory harm reduction spaces, and its Risk Less, Live More program for folks who use drugs, identify as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and non-binary, are historically underserved, and many others. Yarrow has also helped approximately 900 community members by hosting groups, not only at the Larimer County Jail, but also at two of our Poudre District high schools and the Longview Behavioral Health Center. In addition, Yarrow has provided tremendous support via their mobile harm reduction outreach, and their reach hasn't stopped there. However, as additionally, Yarrow Collective has touched over 1,200 folks through their regularly coordinated and hosted community building and educational events. Their mini workshops and multi-day trainings cover the principles and values of harm reduction, peer support, non-coercive approaches to suicidality, and best practices in peer-to-peer community alternatives. The cornerstone of Yarrow Collective's work is their strong belief that healing happens in community. And when you add it all up, just in 2025, Yarrow Collective has touched the lives of over 6,900 of our community members. That's a lot. And I'd like to capture just one of those 6,900 folks' testament. I'm a wife, a mother of two amazing children, and in recovery from a multi-year addiction. I felt completely alone when I finally decided to quit using. My Yarrow peer supporter helped my family get a roof over our heads and out of a toxic environment, and she did it in such a supportive, non-judgmental way. She understood what I was going through and gave me just enough of a push without doing it for me. Support like this is exactly what is needed in this world. Tonight, we do more than honor Yarrow Collective. We celebrate the kind of community we can become when we follow the path they have helped illuminate, one of compassion, courage, and unwavering commitment to human dignity. Gina Rupp and Melissa Lozano will receive this award on behalf of their organization, so please join me in congratulating the Yarrow Collective.
Good evening, everyone. I am very nervous, very nervous. On behalf of all of us at the Yarrow Collective, I want to express our immense gratitude to the City of Fort Collins Human Relations Commission for this year's Human Relations Award. It's an honor to stand up here tonight, and we are truly humbled to be recognized among so many individuals, teams, and organizations who are doing meaningful and compassionate work in our community. When we started this project 5 years ago, I don't think any of us knew where it would lead. A few of us were advocating for justice within the behavioral health care landscape, and in that work, we found each other, and we found comfort in knowing that we weren't doing it alone, which 2020 during COVID was amazing because of how isolating it was at that time. We knew that there were other folks like us who wanted to connect, to find community, and to support each other in ways that the traditional systems just weren't able to. From our board of directors to our facilitators and volunteers, we are an organization built by people with lived and living experiences, those same experiences that Barb just shared. We are the very people that we serve. And it's taken a lot of hard work, persistence in breaking down stigmas, a willingness to continually show up, to listen deeply, and to create brave spaces for one another. It has meant continually reminding systems that we are the experts of our own experiences and that we will continue to honor the disability justice movement's call of nothing for us without us. And we absolutely would not have made it this far without our community partners and advocates, the champions working within the systems, and a city and county that genuinely cares about and believes in the work that we do. Thank you to the Human Relations Commission for believing in our mission and recognizing the work we've done and the work that we will continue to do. We are honored, we are grateful, and we are excited to keep moving forward together.
Now I'd like to invite Commissioner Beth Jager back up to close tonight's program.
Before we offer closing remarks, I'm going to ask all of the award recipients to come back up here for a group picture. And I know it's going to take a moment, but I think it's very important that we see you all together. So if you wouldn't mind coming up and bringing your award prints with you.
Yeah, got it.
Just keep that's good news, right? There's never too many of you. Pardon my bad. Are we all here? So look at this group of change makers here. It's awesome. Closing remarks. We are fortunate for many reasons, not the least of which is to be in Fort Collins with generous and dedicated individuals, organizations, and teams who strive to make our community always better. We count on you to help us to remember to shed intolerance and adopt acceptance, to blame less and look more within ourselves, to avoid exclusion as we work towards equity and inclusion, and finally to demonstrate strength by trying to understand unfamiliar and diverse points of view. We celebrate your commitment, your dedication, and your accomplishments. We honor you as you encourage us to take and find opportunities to promote respect and dignity for all, and together to create a community where all feel welcomed, where all belong. Again, our heartfelt thanks to all of you for your significant and inspiring contributions to our community. May I ask that we have one more round of applause for our 2025 Human. Thank you all very much. It was a pleasure to be with you all tonight. Thank you all for attending, and what a celebration of community. Thank you.